I'm always changing. Like for example, like I can play something one time, and they'd be like, "What was that track that you played?" And I'd be like, "Which one?" And next thing you know, I'm off to something else because I'm always constantly style reference and this and that because I play for a lot of different genres of house music. I mean, it's not just I do rave parties, techno, like the whole 9 yards. So depending on what audience that I have, somehow enables me to kind of like enhance my skill set. So if I'm playing like for some hipsters, if I'm doing a rave party, it kind of gives me an opportunity to be able to diversify my skill sets. Because everybody likes a different like format or a different pattern of music, so I'm able to fit that bill that evening. I love the new technology because it gives me an opportunity to take old things and create them into new things. And then for two, it kind of sets the tone of me being able to take old music and make it better, to grab old nostalgic pieces and so forth. And then it also gives me an opportunity to be able to enhance the right word to picture how it is. Okay, digital and analog, right? So digital is more or less everything is processed or goes through a computer. So it's going to take some of those attributes and fibers out of the music. But with analog, it's like straight tape. So it gives it more of a more wider field. The fidelity is different. So when I combine digital and analog together, you get this real massive sound. So you still get the warmth, but then you also get the clarity of the digital. So you're able to digitalog it and give it like a certain format. So definitely loving the new technology. It's a lot different now because, we used to have an outlet. Different promoters. Our radio personalities were very strong at that time. We don't really have that as much as we used to. And then one thing about me, when we were growing up, it was being emphasized in the high schools because that's what we want. He comes, man, you hear this new tape or this or that or we don't really have that buzz anymore in reference to having that continual of the next generation coming in to be able to be a part of what we created back in that time and era. I think house music was probably established around 81, a little bit after the disco era. So it wasn't a continual of it. It had a point where it stopped and it paused and it didn't really have that massive effect like rap music or trap music and so forth. And then when it got broken off into different particles, you got EDM and all these other titles. It all started from one concept of music, but then it just broke off into a lot of different particles. So everything seemed to be somewhat scattered. So now it's like, well, what do you play? What do you play? A lot of it kind of has a lot of similarities because it's all based on formats or whatever, 2-step and 4-on-4. But at the end of the day, everybody kind of chooses like the different level or genre of music they want to play. And sometimes like more or less like the rave music or the big music gets a little bit more notoriety and credit than the soulful projects or some of the soulful things. So I kind of think that everybody has kind of like segregated the different styles and concepts of dance music in general. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't get that full recognition. I mean, Chicago is the mecca of house music. This is where it was created. But at the same time, it doesn't get the notoriety that it deserves to get.